So I have not made this dish for my Italian grandmother. Nonna does not eat a lot of sandwiches. And so last time I was in Italy, I actually filmed a video with her where we made meatballs together and I had her try it. And the best part was after she took the one bite, she looked at me and was like, this actually works. Having her try that for the first time and actually liking it was pretty special. Hi, I'm Owen Han. I'm here with Food52, and today we're gonna be making a not so classic cheesesteak, a recipe from my cookbook, Stack. Personally, when I think of sandwich, one of the first sandwiches I think of is a Philly cheesesteak. Now, when I came up with this recipe, I wanted to add my own flair to it, and that's where the not so classic part comes in. I basically was looking in my pantry and seeing what ingredients I had to kind of spice things up. And I feel like everyone has ketchup, Worcestershire, soy sauce, and some sort of hot sauce. I go with sriracha. So that really balances it all out because you get sweetness from the ketchup, saltiness and umami from the Worcestershire and soy sauce, and then a little bit of spice with the sriracha. So the first part of this is to make the sauce. So basically you're just gonna take a bowl and mix in all the ingredients I just talked about. So we got a 1/3 cup of ketchup. We'll add the soy sauce and Worcestershire and your hot sauce of choice. So a little bit of sriracha here. We're just gonna mix to combine, and then we will set this aside because we add this towards the end once we've cooked the steak, the onion, and it really just brings everything together. A nice smooth mixture. There we go. In my cookbook Stacked, I have all homemade sauces I love to add to sandwiches, and it's a great way to really elevate anything. So from basic homemade mayonnaise to like Calabrian chili, chipotle aioli, a bunch of different sauces that are great for sandwiches. So sauce marinade has been made, and now we will get into cutting the vegetables. So for this, half an onion cut into basically half moons. We'll heat up our cast iron. Add a little bit of oil. Let that heat up. So the other component that makes this a not so classic cheesesteak, we got garlic and ginger, very common in Asian and Chinese cooking. So my background, I'm half Italian, half Chinese. So in a lot of recipes, I will incorporate the combination of both. So we're just gonna mince 2 cloves of garlic here. I was actually born in Italy and spent my summers pretty much in my nonna's kitchen, learning from the best. Grandmas, I feel like, have the secret recipes that everyone wants to know. But that's where I got basically my foundation in cooking, learning through my nonna, watching her cook, and really just fell in love with the process of it. Oil's heated up, going in with the onion. We'll let that sweat, and then we'll add the garlic and then the ginger. So in Italy, a lot of the cooking is based around the fresh ingredients. You'll see a lot of recipes are relatively simple, and you're relying on the produce. So in Italian, cucina povera, it's kind of like peasant cooking. You're not making peasant dishes per se, but really it's just focusing on minimal ingredients, but high quality produce, and it really just creates great food. So onions are sweating slightly. We'll give that a second, and then for the ginger, we're just gonna grate it. It's the easiest way to do it. So I just added the ginger and garlic, and while this cooks, we can get our steak ready. So for the steak, we're using just a classic ribeye. Now, my trick here, this is, I don't know if you can hear that. It's a little hard. Basically what you wanna do is you freeze this for 15 to 30 minutes max. It allows you to slice into it a lot cleaner. For this, we're looking for about 1/4 inch, very thin slices. And you can see, since it's somewhat frozen, it holds its shape very well. So while I spent my summers in Italy growing up, I grew up in Florida, and my dad, who has Chinese heritage, was the cook of our family. So during the summers, I'm being exposed to Italian flavors, and then growing up in Florida, my dad is exposing me to Chinese flavors. So in my opinion, I've got the best of both, two of the top cuisines in my opinion. And it was cool to just have that sort of diversity culinary-wise growing up. So growing up, obviously loved cooking, loved eating, and I knew I always wanted to work in food. I just had no idea what exactly that would be. So I just kind of did my own thing, went to school, got a degree in economics and nutrition. So I ended up graduating in 2020, peak pandemic. And it was at that time that my roommate introduced me to the app TikTok. And admittedly at the time, I thought of TikTok as purely an app for like dancing teens. And so when he told me about this cooking content and people doing that, I decided to take a stab at it. I uploaded my first recipe, which was a shrimp toast recipe from my grandmother's cookbook, my Chinese grandmother. So it's Ma's shrimp toast, and it was my first recipe video to basically go viral and gain traction. It was pretty cool seeing people interacting with recipes that were very nostalgic to me. And then what really took off was my sandwiches. So steak is in, we're gonna crank up the heat, and you just wanna get a nice sear, about 2 minutes on each side, and then we'll mix it all together. All right, this is about good. So the steak has been cooking for about 2 minutes per side. We'll mix in the onion, ginger, and garlic that we pushed aside. Now we'll just season with a little bit of pepper and salt. Gonna be a little light on the salt because the sauce component has a lot of salty ingredients, mainly the soy sauce. So we'll let that cook for maybe another minute or so, and then we'll mix in the sauce, and then our meat component will be done. So while that's finishing, we'll get the bread ready. This is just a standard baguette. Decent size here. We just split it in half, open it up. We'll top on the meat, cover it with cheese, broil it, and it'll be perfect. So now we're going in with the sauce here. We'll just coat all this together. So I've cut the heat. You don't want to burn the sauce. Just get it incorporated. Here we go. Now we will layer that onto our bread. So meat mixture in here. Now we're gonna get our cheese. So for our cheese, we have an even mix here of mozzarella and unsmoked provolone. What I like about the combination of both of those, one, they melt really well, and two, they're quite mild in taste. And so the biggest thing here is you want to be able to taste the marinade within the steak, but also want one, the visual aspect of the cheese, and then the creaminess too. So the sandwich is assembled, and the last step is to broil this. And now we wait. Now, one reason why I like broiling the cheese as opposed to adding the cheese on the meat and letting it melt, what this does is it also toasts the bread. So within the 3 to 5 minute mark, it's a perfect time and temperature where your cheese gets melted fully, but also your bread gets the broil effect as well. So it'll be crispy, but also soft inside because you're not fully baking it. And it just creates magic. There we go. So you can see cheese is melted great. The bread is toasted nice. That's just great ASMR right there. All right, so we're gonna transfer this. That was really hot. Boom. Now, what I like to add, we have some pickled cherry peppers. What I love about this is really anytime I can add a sort of acid, especially with fatty components, with the cheese and the ribeye, I think it just cuts through it super well. It also just looks really pretty. So there's the sandwich. We'll close it up and we're gonna cut this in half. So now all that's left to do is taste this. First thing I get is like sweetness from the meat, and then I just got a bite of the cherry pepper. I'm all for contrasting flavors. Crunchiness from the bread. This is just great. Thanks Food52 for having me. If you like the recipe, go check it out in my cookbook. Order stack now.